En Afrique, aujourd'hui, les jeunes représentent plus de 50% de la population. Souvent considérés comme la crème de la société, les jeunes du continent sont confrontés à des défis majeurs, dont celui de l'emploi. Ainsi, les questions sont nombreuses et variées.
Issues of young people in terms of their after-school employment have been problematic. One looks at it from several perspectives. One is the issue, firstly, we can talk about the issue of the dropouts, those who drop out from junior high school to senior high school. Here we are seeing somewhat professional and technical training of both the girls and the boys. Of course, the statistics are worse for the girl child.
The problem is employment. You know, this is a common problem in all countries, or mostly in Africa, because in Zanzibar we have no factories, we have no industries. So we have launched the program of the education, we call it as a mafunzo ya amali, in the vocational training. We established these centers for vocational training in different areas of Zanzibar, on the island of Zanzibar. And after finishing schools, we put these students in these vocational centers to train them about electronics, about mechanics, about masonry, and so on. We're teaching them for that to get their self-employment when they finish their schooling there.
Right across Africa, we have to confront the youth issue. Some call it the youth renaissance. And the writings on the wall, we know clearly from the experience in the Maghreb, which is referred to as the Arab Spring, unless some concerted effort is made, we may witness something similar for sub-Saharan Africa. Young people are calling out, young people are talking, our government's listening. There are programs in different countries, and we acknowledge effort of government. But responding to employability of youth may need more than just government's intervention. We would need a more consultative approach or approaches with young people, but in partnership with the donor community, as well as in-country partners, NGOs, and the private sector.
I think African youth are grappling with a lot of issues these days. Issues related to education, issues related to training, and also professional opportunities. Even those who have been trained because of the economic crisis, because of the conditions within the countries in which young Africans live, many youth have a crisis of faith, I think, in the future.
L'éducation et la formation dans le cadre d'un processus d'apprentissage servant tout au long de la vie sont essentiels pour réduire la pauvreté, ce qui accroît sensiblement la probabilité de chance de trouver un emploi décent ou de générer des revenus grâce à l'auto-emploi. Nombreux sont les jeunes qui n'ignorent pas cette réalité.
Well, technical vocational education is very important in nation development, especially in developing countries. And especially, for example, like the Gambia, we need technical vocation presently more than any other thing. We have enough young people who have studied computer. We have enough young people who have studied marketing and other AAT and the other.
Working in the office is not the only work that people can do, because right now, as you can see, I employ myself because I'm not working for anybody. Anything that I work out of here is belong to me. Because right now we are about to establish our own company. Because I'm not alone, because we are almost, this motorbike school is almost to 10. So you see that out of it we have 10 different companies who that we employ ourselves.
Bien que l'introduction de l'EFTP ait contribué à réduire le chômage dans certains pays, des défis majeurs subsistent dans la formation technique et professionnelle.
Un élève ou bien un étudiant qui passe dans un centre de formation, à sa sortie, il n'y a pas de suivi. Donc au lieu de le motiver davantage, au lieu de le mettre à l'aise pour qu'il puisse s'exprimer librement, pour qu'il puisse continuer sur cette lancée, pour qu'il puisse aussi créer des choses aussi, comme le font aussi les Toubabs, mais à notre sortie, on est freiné. Donc au lieu de nous avancer sur des choses beaucoup plus importantes, on est vraiment freiné. Parce que pour avoir de l'emploi, les jeunes croient que seule une structure, une société doit nous embaucher. Et tel n'est pas le cas. Si une société ne nous embauche pas, nous avons les capacités de créer nos propres structures. Mais pour la création de ces structures aussi, il faut des moyens pour pouvoir les faire. Les moyens ne sont pas là. Les personnes qui doivent accompagner les jeunes n'y mettent pas le paquet. Et c'est très grave. Et je vous signale qu'un pays développé est un pays qui mise beaucoup plus sur la formation professionnelle et technique. Parce que sans formation, vraiment, sans la technique, un pays ne peut pas avancer.
Oh, the learning process, we are working manually. Like designing, when you come to designing, we design with our hand. And sometimes we use AutoCAD. So that's what it's like in here. For example, if we can have more computers, to work with that, because world is advancing. People are moving from ancient to modern ideas. So still now, most of us are working on this thing with our hand. So if we can have more computers here to work with those things, AutoCAD plus what we are doing, this manual will help us a lot.
Les jeunes, voyant la nécessité d'être formés, comprennent aussi, comme la plupart des gens, que le développement du continent repose sur leurs épaules. Que peut donc faire l'EFTP pour cette jeunesse?
If you look at it, the government cannot do it alone. So youths have to come out and help the government together with other stakeholders so that it can be achieved.
The skill area is a very, very marketable skill, because if you know, for example, like if you study architecture, draftsman, for example, even without the end of month salary that you have from GTTI, you have your personal contracts outside, and at the end, sometimes what you even have per day or per week is far, far, far more than from what you have end of month. So the technical vocational field is very marketable, and it needs young people especially. We need to see how best we can motivate young people for them to go in the technical field. Even though like they face a lot of constraints, for example, like especially women going in for technical field, you have a lot of problems with regards to the community. You have only nothing to study apart from concept. A woman, can you hold a block? But those are all challenges that we are coming through. But I know that there is a lot of things that we need to do, and we have a big role to play with regards to technical vocational education. Young people need to understand the importance that it can play in our economy.
Young people have a mentality that this vocational training it is for the what? For the layman or for what they drop out in schools, which is not true. Looking at me myself, I'm a graduate in a senior secondary, which I earn good results. So, but some people are there, they believe that if I am going for the technical vocation, I am a dropout. That is not the issue. Let them remove that mentality and make sure that they focus. It is for their own benefit, it is for their own health, and for them to have the self-reliance tomorrow, and for the nation and for the world, it is for them to come in and do this, and let them remove that mentality that they are having, that is only for dropout. There are no dropouts, unless you want to be a dropout.
Il est dit en général que chaque problème va avec une solution. Mais comment pouvons-nous faire évoluer les choses pour nous assurer que les jeunes soient bien formés pour l'emploi?
I think that we need to sit down and redesign our curriculum with the captains of industry, with those who are in charge of our social and development needs in the country, do our projection. Africa, you know, our biggest failing is lack of planning. We do not plan. And this, we can't afford to fail on this. If we do not plan for the sustainability of the education and employability of our youth in the long term, we have a problem. So when you're looking at models, look at other countries relevant to Africa's development needs.
Ce que je peux conseiller, c'est de peut-être revoir les curricula au niveau de l'enseignement pour que l'initiative privée soit plus développée au niveau des jeunes. Parce que dans le système francophone aujourd'hui, un jeune qui finit ses études, entre parenthèses, ne sert pas à grand-chose. Il n'a pas une spécialité donnée.
We really need to rethink, but we really need to come up with smart solutions. We need to prioritize. We need to prepare young people well, but not prepare them for a job that is out there waiting for them, but helping them to be more creative and innovative. Our centers must move away from traditional approaches to addressing technical and vocational education. Our school systems themselves should begin to really look at the vocationalization of education. Education for employment should really inform the curricula from the basic to the secondary and even to universities. There's an issue of attitude. When we look at the Asian tigers, TVET was made a priority, not because it was seen as a blue-collar job, but it was seen as the means through which young people would be equipped with the requisite skills to respond to the development needs and for growth of their economy. We must really bring back in Africa and for the youth that recognition that TVET is really in itself a dignified way of looking at what to do after school. The spirit of entrepreneurship, the spirit of innovation, the spirit of capitalizing on new ways of learning new skills using smart technologies.
When I speak of practical skills that young Africans need, I mean training that can allow them to change their world, training that can give them technological skills, training that can give them skills that allow them to contribute to the economy of the country. For example, in countries where there are conflict or that are emerging from conflict, what we call post-conflict countries, training youth to be able to build things, to be able to repair things, and to be able to create revenue by making the country more functional. I think all the countries in Africa that have gone through conflict could actually follow that route. That doesn't mean we only train workers or technicians. These young people can also train further later on, not all of them, but we need a middle level of training for young people who come out of general basic education. Those can gain, a majority of them can gain skills that allow them to contribute directly to the economy. And then a few of them can move on to higher education where they could actually become, engineers and practical engineers, because we know that in Africa a lot of engineers are just desk engineers, but engineers that resolve problems of daily life, engineers that can make make solar panels where they are needed, engineers that can create machines that will reduce the work time for women, for example. And when I say engineers, I mean both boys and girls, because in our subconscious, usually we think of technicians and engineers as males. But just training and giving young people space for not only gaining skills, but being able to use those skills to build something.
Il ne peut en effet y avoir de solution unique au problème du chômage des jeunes en Afrique. Toutefois, en aidant les jeunes Africains et en leur créant des opportunités pour leur permettre de se réaliser pleinement, en leur donnant accès à l'emploi, cela apporterait une paix durable, l'éradication de la pauvreté et le développement durable.